If today was your last day alive, what would you change before tonight? Marcus Aurelius asked himself that question every single morning while ruling an empire on fire. He wasn't a monk hiding in a cave. He was the most powerful man on earth, surrounded by war plague, betrayal, and pressure you and I can barely imagine. And yet he carved out a set of simple rules to keep his mind calm, his heart steady, and his life focused on what truly mattered. In a freezing military tent on the frontiers, he wrote. In a palace stripped of its treasures to feed the poor, he wrote. On nights when his own children were dying, he still wrote. Those private pages became meditations. Inside them are 9 Stoic rules that can quietly rebuild your life from the inside out. In this video, you won't just hear pretty quotes. You'll walk beside Marcus through crisis, self-doubt, and exhaustion, and you'll see how each rule can help you face your own stress, envy, anxiety, and failure. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a simple code to live by, whether your kingdom is a global empire or a small apartment with a tired, overthinking mind. Let's begin with Stoic rule number 1. Rule 1, remember you could leave life right now. Memento mori with purpose. Imagine Marcus on campaign looking at a battlefield covered in fog. The news is bad, the plague is spreading, the border is unstable. Friends are dying. He writes to himself, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. He's not trying to be dark. He's trying to be honest. Life is not a guarantee. That message didn't make him panic. It made him present. If today was your last day, would you still scroll this much? Would you still carry that petty grudge? Would you still postpone that hard, important conversation? Rule 1, live like time is fragile, not infinite. Not in a dramatic YOLO way, but in a deliberate way. Say what actually needs to be said. Do what actually matters. Let small nonsense fall away. Marcus didn't need that reminder once. He needed it every day. So do we. Rule 2, what blocks you can build. The obstacle is the way now. Picture Rome in collapse during the Antonine Plague. Markets are empty. Temples are crowded with desperate prayers. The city smells like smoke and sickness. People expect the emperor to hide behind marble walls. Instead, Marcus walks through his own palace and starts marking things to sell. Jewels, statues, furniture, imperial luxury, gone. For 2 months, the treasures of the emperor are laid out on the lawn and sold to support the empire. The message was simple. If my people suffer, I will not live soft. Stoicism doesn't deny obstacles. It recycles them. A crisis becomes a chance to serve. A failure becomes a lesson that hardens you. A closed door becomes a push to build your own. Rule 2, when something blocks you, ask how can this become raw material for my character? You're not stuck. One path is closed, but another inside you is always open. Rule 3, own your morning, own your mind. Marcus Aurelius did not have to wake up early. He was emperor. There was no boss to yell at him. But in meditations, he scolds himself in the dark. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. He drags himself from the warmth of the blankets, not because it feels good, but because it is right. His morning had 3 simple parts. 1, wake up when you said you would. 2, sit with your thoughts. Journaling, reminding himself of what kind of man he wanted to be. 3, do the most important work first, as if it were the last thing you were doing in life. No fancy hacks, no magic productivity app, just self-respect in the first hour of the day. Rule 3, protect your mornings like they are sacred. No doom scrolling first, no random chaos. 1 clear intention. What kind of person am I going to be today? Begin like that, and half the battle is already won. Rule 4, train your reactions, not the world. Marcus lived under war, plague, betrayal, and loss. Yet one of his biggest realizations sounds strangely modern. He writes that he escaped anxiety, then corrects himself. No, I discarded it because it was within me. He saw the truth. It wasn't the wars or the Senate or the crises that owned his mind. It was his interpretation of them. Today we say things like, work is stressing me out. Traffic makes me angry. They make me feel small. But the Stoic answer is tough and freeing. It's not the event, it's your judgment. Rule 4. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask what part of this reaction is under my control. You may not control the email, the comment, the delay, or the economic storm, but you can train your breath, your self-talk, your choice of the next action. The world is unstable. Your reactions don't have to be. Rule 5. Be strict with yourself. Gentle with others. Marcus was often frustrated with people. He starts meditations by listing the types he hates: arrogant, ungrateful, jealous, selfish. But then he stops and writes himself into a corner. People are like this. They cannot be otherwise. Be tolerant with others, strict with yourself. One story tells of a general who made a terrible mistake in battle. Marcus could have exploded. Instead, he listened. He corrected the man firmly, but didn't crush him. His standard was clear. Discipline pointed inward. Compassion pointed outward. Rule 5. Use stoicism as a mirror, not a weapon. Don't use it to judge others. They're not stoic enough. Use it to judge yourself. Did I live my principles today? Everyone is fighting a battle you can't see. You don't need to make their war harder. You need to make your soul stronger. Rule 6. Ask, is this essential? Imagine Marcus's desk scrolls petitions problems from every corner of the empire. Everyone wants time from the emperor. He writes a simple, dangerous question. Ask yourself with every action, is this essential? He realizes most of what we do, say, and even think is noise. Today, your imperial inbox looks different. Messages, notifications, meetings, favors, habits you never chose, just inherited. Rule 6. Constantly filter your life by this question. If I knew I might die this year, would I still spend time on this? When you cut what's non-essential, you don't become lazy. You become sharp. Fewer things. Done better. That's a stoic kind of luxury. Rule 7. Live for the common good. Not just yourself. Stoicism is not about becoming a cold, selfish rock. Marcus writes, what is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. And the fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good. In the midst of crisis, he didn't escape to a private island. He stayed with Rome. He carried the weight that came with his position. Rule 7. Ask yourself, who benefits from my growth? If you become more disciplined, do your children feel safer? If you manage your temper, does your team work better? If you handle money wisely, can you help more people? A better life is not just nicer feelings inside you. It's better outcomes for the people around you. Rule 8. Stop waiting to be good. End the someday story. Marcus hits us with one of the simplest, hardest lines: you could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow. He's talking to himself and to anyone who says, I'll start the diet next week. I'll fix my finances later. I'll work on my anger when life calms down. There will always be a reason to delay. There will never be a perfect day to start. Rule 8. Choose one thing you've been postponing and take the smallest possible step today. One honest conversation, one page written, one walk instead of one scroll. You don't have to become a new person overnight. You just have to stop lying to yourself about later. Rule 9. Love your fate. Don't just survive it. Amor fati, Marcus didn't get the life he would have chosen. He didn't ask for plague. He didn't ask for betrayal. He didn't ask for constant war. But he writes as if each hardship was assigned to him on purpose. A blazing fire takes whatever you throw into it and turns it into flame and brightness. This is amor fati. Not just accepting fate, but loving it as your path to strength. Rule 9. Instead of, why me try? What is this training me for? A broken heart can train compassion. A financial loss can train wisdom. A failure can train humility and resilience. You don't have to enjoy the pain, but you can decide it will not be wasted. Don't scroll away just yet, because this is exactly the moment Marcus Aurelius would ask you the only question that really matters. Now that you know how to live, will you actually live that way? You've just walked through 9 Stoic rules from an emperor who faced war, plague, loss, and unimaginable pressure, and still chose discipline over chaos, clarity over noise, and character over comfort. So take a breath. Which one of those rules is calling you the loudest right now? Is it memento mori, remembering you could leave life at any moment? Is it protecting your mornings before the world grabs you? Is it turning every obstacle into fuel? or finally being strict with yourself and gentle with others? Now picture yourself 1 year from today if you practiced even one of those rules every single morning. Your finances would feel different. Your relationships would feel different. The way you handle anger, envy, stress, and failure would feel completely different. But that version of you won't appear by accident. You need reminders. You need repetition. You need a community that speaks the same stoic language you're trying to live. That's what this channel, Making Life Better, is here for. If even one line today hit you in the chest, don't let it fade into just another nice video you forget tomorrow. Hit subscribe, join our Stoic family, and turn these 9 rules into a daily training ground for your mind. And if you made it to the end, leave one word in the comments so I know you're serious about this path, Emperor. Not because you rule others, but because starting today, you choose to rule yourself.